Joseph's story really begins before his birth. His father, Jacob, was working for his uncle Laban. Jacob made a deal with him that he would work 7 years, and at the end of those 7 years, Laban would permit him to marry his daughter Rachel. However, after the 7 years, Laban deceived Jacob, bringing his other daughter, Leah, to him instead. Jacob was unaware that he had married the wrong daughter until the morning after the wedding. Heartbroken, Jacob pleaded that Laban would make things right. The new deal was that if Jacob worked for Laban for 7 more years, then he could marry Rachel as well. So that's what Jacob did, and at the end of the second 7-year period, he married Rachel. Of course, this whole thing set up not only Jacob's heartbrokenness, but also serious issues between the two sisters, Leah and Rachel. Leah felt like she was second fiddle because Jacob really loved Rachel, but Rachel felt like she was second fiddle because she could not bear children. Leah popped out 4 boys in a row for Jacob: Reuben, Simon, Levi, and Judah. This just devastated Rachel, so she gave Jacob her maidservant Bilhah to have children in her stead. Bilhah gave birth to Dan and then to Naphtali. Of course, in the end, this only added to Rachel's despair because everyone seemed to be able to have children with her beloved except for her. So then Leah, unable to bear any more children than the 4 that she already had, gave her maidservant Zilpah to Jacob. Zilpah gave birth to Gad and Asher. And then in a huge twist, Leah started to get pregnant again, giving birth to Issachar and Zebulun. And then she gave birth to a daughter, Dinah. Finally, after what must have been a lot of tears and a lot of sleepless nights, Rachel gave birth to Joseph, her firstborn. And then sometime later, Rachel would give birth to Benjamin. With Benjamin's birth, the 12 sons of Jacob have been brought into the world. The number 12 will echo through the Bible, with the 12 tribes, the 12 disciples, the 12 gates of the city of God in Revelation. But we can also look back at how these 12 boys were born and see that there was an incredible amount of human suffering there. Women who felt like their only sense of worth came from their ability to have children. Women who felt the pain of childlessness. Women who used their ability to conceive children over and against the women who were having trouble conceiving. And through it all, Jacob seems to be handed around from bedroom to bedroom like a pawn who had no agency. The jealous women in his life just sent him around, and he seems to just go along with all of it, riding a wave of loss, hurt, and pain. And this story, with all its dark edges, is also part of the fulfillment of God's promise to Jacob's grandfather, Abraham, to whom God promised that his family would be a great family, whose number would rival the number of stars in the sky and the grains of sand on the shore. You don't get anywhere near such a fulfillment without the explosion of life that comes with 12 sons and a daughter. Here, in the opening scenes of the story of Joseph, we see a complex story. There's joy and sorrow, there's victory and loss, there's exultation and hurt, and there's life bursting out again and again from that which is said to be unable to produce life. It's hard to watch, and it's glorious, all in one story. And that is about as good of a foreshadowing as we can get for the rest of the story of Joseph.